Hello, everybody. Welcome to the. I can't be bothered to do this intro. You do it.
Why are we doing the intro now?
You do the intro.
How does one
culminate
an intro without the rest of the people here?
Just start saying something like, "Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast, the VC2 podcast." Start saying shit like that. I'll start clapping.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Stop clapping. Cheers, Sartak. You're really useful around here, mate. You're a really valued member.
Exactly.
Right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first of hopefully many episodes of the VC2 podcast.
At least 10 episodes.
At least 10. Minimum.
We have to hit the quota.
We're making that a minimum. We're saying that a minimum.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, we're missing a member today.
In fact, we're missing two members. This is half the podcast.
Currently, we're missing two members because one of them thinks he's nonchalant and the other one also thinks he's nonchalant. So we will be lacking in the people department, but trust me, we will not be lacking in the charisma
and the comedy, the laughs that we
and the enjoyment department. So
I've actually.
I hope.
Have you prepared for this at all? This podcast.
Have I prepared for it?
Have you prepared? Are you
Yes, before I came on, I was in front of the mirror this morning, rehearsing my numerous, what's the word?
Intros.
My numerous jokes and my numerous lines that I was going to say.
I mean, clearly they're not working because you said the word more than you said words.
Indeed.
Okay, the way I've prepared, I've got a little iPhone notes called Topics for Podcast, and you know what?
See, that's what I should have done.
Yeah, I just do that. I just like, okay, maybe we shouldn't go into this completely half-cocked. So let me go over what I've written. The first point is original episode 1. Okay, so you don't know about this. It would have been great if I had the other person who was involved in the original episode 1 on, but unfortunately he's packing to go and move to Brighton for a day.
Move to Brighton for a day?
For the comedy festival.
That's not very funny. He should be on here.
He should be contributing to the
He's contradicting himself. That's not humorous at all.
Does not follow our strict guidelines for humour on the podcast.
Comedy. What do you do at a comedy convention? Is it a convention? What is it?
It's a festival. I don't really know.
Oh god, that's even worse.
Is it like music festivals where you have like different stages, but it depends on how funny each people is?
I feel like a comedy festival would be really unfunny.
Yeah, it's like, well, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna listen to people talk for hours on end.
I feel like you'd be really bored and not humoured after 20 minutes.
If it's anything like Reading and you're like, and it's like a huge crowd, how are you? And you're just watching from the back over a bunch of sweaty like 16-year-olds. How is that any fun? How are you laughing instead of trying not to breathe in different flavours of vape?
I hate the whole premise of Reading.
Dude, I was excited to go to Reading and then I saw the fucking lineup. So garbage. How do they not get a single good artist?
I don't think I'd go.
Really?
Even if there was like one. Because like, you go, you put up your tent, which is the size of you.
Okay, fair enough. And
then you go to rehydrate and you've just spent half of the money that you brought to just live on a single bottle of water.
Fair enough. No, basically though, what my sister did, because she's scared of any sort of hard work or like camping in general, she went to specifically two people. She went and then she came home, and then she went again, and then she came home.
What?
Why would? Well, yeah, that's what I said. I was like, what? Why would you not camp? And she's like, it's dirty and that. It's like,
you're camping.
I don't like camping. We should do we should do one of our episodes where we're all just camping and we're around a campfire and we're doing a podcast episode.
That's a shit. We should right. Future audience and hopefully these two dickheads. I shut. We will have an episode where we're in a house. I mean, not in a house. in a tent outside in the wilderness.
Probably not in the tent, because I said around a campfire. I would assume that the campfire is not inside the tent.
Outside of the tent, near the tent.
Exactly, the tent's somewhere over there. If you could see where I'm pointing.
It won't be a fake campfire. It'll be a real campfire.
Real campfire. We'll spend the night. We'll record everyone's POVs. It'll be hot. There'll be a specific section for people who pay for like a Patreon.
If everyone has a GoPro.
We all just like cuddle up. We spoon each other in the tent.
That's the blooper reel. That'll
exactly.
That won't be part of it. That's the main section.
Exactly.
The main bit of the video.
That's the part everyone's there for. Let's go. We were talking about Reading Festival. I'm completely ignoring the first like part of my agenda, but you know what? That's okay. That's okay. I'll get back to it. So it was me and Tristan. We what do you call it? Yeah. So we recorded the first episode. Darwin wasn't available because he went somewhere. Hypothetically, I'm doing air quotes right now. And so we recorded a 27. Yeah, exactly. There's a bold-faced fucking lie. Warhammer in the shack.
in his shack. I have a satellite view of his
the Warhammer
his house.
shack. We'll put up an image of his house right now. And basically, so we recorded a 27-minute long episode. We were talking about like Epstein's list. So this actually was not that long ago. It was like January this year. And
When was this?
January this year.
Is this the thing that I wasn't paying attention? What was this?
This is the original first episode.
Oh, okay, that was what we were talking about, and then somehow deteriorated.
Yeah, and then basically we finished the episode. I got all the files, and then midway editing it, I was like, yeah, I'm bored. I don't want to do this anymore, and so I deleted the whole file, and VC2 podcast went nowhere until today.
Until I got out of bed.
Yes. When did you get out of bed, Chris?
I don't see. Look, I don't want to go there. About an hour ago.
What? 2 p.m.
Look, I wasn't happy about it. Okay, I had a long night.
What were you doing? What was your night?
My night was spent in with an array of activities involving a bit of legal company, which I would like to point out, that my mate now has. Gideon now does have it.
Oh, perfect.
He's an idiot. He's an utter. Okay, well, I can't say that.
It's fine. I'll just censor
that's
it.
gonna be censored, but
uncensored.
He's an utter absolute idiot. He's stupid. He doesn't know how to play the game. Locked me out the ship 50 times, and then while we were all getting off the ship, the first time we got off, he just drove it away.
What? Well, that sounds like him, to be honest.
And then we did some other stuff. Leave it CS. Had something to drink, and then I went to bed. A prompt 3:30.
Almost. Wait, but that's still not like. That's still like an entire almost 12 hours of sleep. You had 11 hours.
Went to bed. Went up to bed at 3:30. So when I sat on my phone for like 4 hours.
But went to sleep at 7 a.m. in the morning.
Look, it wasn't my decision, okay?
It was entirely your decision to go on your phone.
It was a culmination of thoughts and feelings.
Oh, speaking of thoughts and feelings, what's your thoughts on what podcasts that you listen to? We had this discussion promptly, actually.
We have delved. Or delved, even not delved, bloody hell.
English A level about to do. This is what he's saying.
Look, when it comes to podcasts,
yes,
it needs to be like either constantly. I don't know how to put this. It needs to be constantly engaging, because otherwise I'll just switch it off and go do something.
Yeah,
because I can't be asked.
We need our participants and our viewers to be doing absolutely butt-fuck nothing during this podcast. They need to have all eyes on the Spotify screen or the YouTube screen.
Exactly.
Their eyes glared open, like chopsticks in their eyes. I mean, not chopsticks. What do you call it?
That was not.
There's not the correct wooden utensil. Toothpicks in their eyes, just like Mr. Bean when he was driving on that road in France. Hello? Not for nothing. I think Chris is turned off. He's doing something else now. Chris has met his word quota, and we're only 10 minutes into the recording.
That was my bad, guys. I would like to formally apologise to the podcast for that interruption.
What happened?
We had a member of the family with some dire problems.
Fair enough.
Right. Let's go back to the original question.
Yes, what podcasts does Chris...
I didn't want to start off with the most incredibly unniche, incredibly popular, most, awfully, first thing that everyone says. But do listen to the Joe Rogan one. So
Why?
I'm gonna throw it out there.
What's so appealing about the powerful JRE?
It's not him. I don't show up for him.
You don't show up for Joe Rogan?
Because I never feel like it's his podcast.
You think it's like the
I always
guest?
show up for who the other person.
I love when Neil deGrasse Tyson comes up and he's like...
Exactly.
And he's like...
starts yapping about
space and
if
shit.
you condense the planet into a ball, it would be perfectly spherical. And I'm like... Mate, who the hell are you? You can't come on here, sit down and go... Oh, I've got a ball. Oh, no, I've got the planet, yeah, but if I just crushed it, it'd be a ball. I'm like, yeah, probably anything would be a ball if you crushed it into a ball. I'm like, why was that relevant?
I was disappointed. No, I love that. You listen to anything else, though, other than the Joe Rogan experience? What's up, freak bitches?
I mean, I listened to ages ago. I don't know what I don't even remember what they were.
You know what, Chris? You strike me as the kind of guy who listens to history podcasts. You listen to Battle of Hastings recap.
Okay, look, I listened to this Russian one.
Russian history.
Okay, just to hear me out. I don't know what it. No, it actually was. It was I don't know, what was it?
Were they speaking English or Russian?
No, they were speaking English. It probably wasn't severely accurate, considering that the person who was doing it was American. But I think it was about Russian presidents, or just the Russian president, to be honest. Changed, but it was so interesting. I was really hooked on it. When we were in Wales, I was just listening to it.
Oh, mate, Wales is such a fucking
why.
fever dream, bro.
Isn't
there
it?
was
I
so
don't
much going on.
Half that happened.
It was all a simulation.
No,
I don't know why.
seriously.
I don't know why chose to start wanting to kill himself on the trip. Could he not have just waited?
Isn't it?
We're probably gonna have to cut that part out.
I mean, causing an absolute ruckus. I mean, what was there? There's no need.
Exactly. I did play a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh though.
I played a bunch of Uno, mate.
Ooh, no.
What do you mean, no?
I said, ooh, no.
Oh, I thought you said no. I was like,
just like no.
I've only just said that.
We were speaking of things that you were speaking about. The great segue, might I add.
Oh, sorry. I'd like to butt in before we move on.
Okay.
There's that podcast with the what's his face? Those two, the Bobby guy.
Oh yeah.
Bobby Lee
Bad
and
Friends.
that guy. Yeah, I listened to that.
Dude,
End of discussion. I listened to that. That's good.
I love when they come up on my TikTok feed and it's just Bobby showing his asshole to some random person.
I don't think that came up.
I could find the clip if you want.
Wrong feed, mate. Wrong feed.
I could definitely find the clip. It definitely happened. I'm not crazy. Let me talk about the podcasts I listen to because I'm also a host on this. We're the most.
Sorry.
I'd like to point out. No. Before I continue though, me and you, Chris, we're the most important hosts because we were here from day one. The other two are just additions. I'd like to point that out.
Every episode, that someone isn't here, we lower their ranking.
Yeah, in fact, if and when we start getting paid for this, we actually just take their share down just a little bit, half.
We just cut their salary. They just don't get a salary. For the
they just dock their pay for the rest of the time. We just dock their pay for the rest of the time.
Yeah, they go negative.
They start giving us money.
Because in theory, they're losing the podcast money by not
by not being here and completely.
Obviously, they would be losing a lot less because they don't attract as much.
Oh, yeah. Chris is the chick magnet of the
of the
podcast. I'm the man magnet.
Right, can we
Let's talk about my
actually
podcast
segue
now.
onto
So
that?
no,
Your podcast?
As in
Oh, I see how it is.
No. As in the podcast I listen to, mate. So basically, this is the entire idea for this, if you couldn't tell already, was ripped off of a podcast called Sleep Deprived, where they talk about airplanes.
I mean, the amount of airplane talk for the past 20 minutes has been...
Yeah, we've been talking about airplanes non-stop. It's the only thing we talked about this entire time, all of 15 minutes.
And if you guys
also,
disagree,
Chuckle Sam. Yep.
clearly you weren't listening.
You weren't listening. You have to go back and listen to all of it again, just to make sure. Just start from second.
I like
zero.
airplanes.
So do I.
Let's
My
confirm
favorite.
that.
Oh, speaking of airplanes, you know about the Boeing whistleblowers?
I don't.
Oh, so basically the whistleblowers, I don't know what like their entire job is, but it's like to find where the problem is in like a certain airplane, and then Boeing was ignoring them, and so some of them started releasing information, and then Boeing, I'm pretty sure, just assassinated them.
Right.
Right, that was
So-
all I had for that.
That's their job?
To be assassinated.
Well, I hope not. I mean, to
It's to point out
find the-
issues,
find-
but the thing is that Boeing didn't want the issues to be like seen, and they kind of just
they
brushed
hire
up.
them.
Yeah, they hired them, and then they found actual problems, and then Boeing was like, listen, you're doing your job too well, so you need to pipe down, or we're going to kill you. They didn't pipe down, so they got presumably killed by...
But isn't their job to just tell Boeing what?
Yeah, and they did tell Boeing, and then Boeing was like, no, but it'll take too much time, it'll cost too much money to fix the plane, so we'll just ship them out as they are. And they were like, this is like highly dangerous, like hundreds of thousands of people could die if you let this happen. They're like, business.
L.
L people.
Just
Should have just
don't
taken
get
the
on
train.
plane.
Should have just
Get
taken
the
the train. Get in the boats. You got you've got Rishi
I
Sunak
think
trying
we
to stop
can
the
continue
boats.
that line of conversation.
To Rwanda.
I like the Ryanair bloke. The bloke that owns Ryanair, yeah.
Is it
He
Ryan? Just Ryan.
Who owns Ryanair? Might be different.
Could be Ryan.
No, it's Michael.
Michael Air.
No, it's Michael O'Leary.
Wait, what? Mr. Mr. Fantastic.
Michael
No.
Kevin O'Leary.
Yeah, Kevin O'Leary. That's Mr. Fantastic, isn't it?
Well, he's not Kevin O'Leary, is he? He's Michael Kevin
Kevin
O'Leary. Or Michael
O'Leary.
O'Leary.
Kevin O'Leary.
Look, right, doesn't matter.
No, definitely.
I like
person.
this bloke because he was like, he put up all these things, yeah. It was like, you can pay €1 or £1. Well,
Yeah.
not £1, but to just like stand on an airplane.
Yeah,
for, like,
yeah,
20
just
minutes,
stand the
25
entire-
minutes. And I was like, I rate that.
Yeah, I mean,
You get a little seatbelt that like straps you back. Why wouldn't you do that? It's £1
Yeah, I mean-
to like go across the channel or whatever.
yeah. So what's even the So I heard about that, but I thought people were complaining. I was only complaining about that because I thought they weren't getting like seatbelts. I thought they had to like hold it like they were on the bus.
No, they're not just like they're not just like vertically like holding onto some bar in the back while the people in the front are like, oh yes, you peasants, going to use your own strength.
You fucking serfs.
Exactly, but then he also was like, oh, I wanted to remove. What did he want to remove? He wanted to remove something.
You wanted to remove economy, wasn't it? No,
No,
was
that's what
stupid.
it was. He wanted to remove like the back seats to put in the standing seats. And I was like, why wouldn't you do that? It's a good idea.
It's people are too lazy to stand on a plane.
Hmm.
That's the problem with today's generation. Everyone's too lazy to do work.
Like us.
Like
Well,
us.
actually, not like us.
Not like us. Sorry.
Like
we're
the
doing
other two.
work. The other two who aren't doing the work today.
They aren't here. He
They're
woken
slacking.
up.
They're slacking. Oh yeah, Darwin's probably still asleep.
Comedy convention. Shut up.
Yeah, not a real thing, mate. Sorry, Darwin is probably still
Doesn't
asleep.
exist. It's all a coup. It's all a lie. He's not going to a comedy convention.
He's gonna go. He's gonna go kill like James Charles. Not James Charles. Sorry, King Charles.
James.
Charles. I still think Darwin's asleep. I think that's why he's not here.
I'd like to. What's the word? Second that.
Nice. Thanks, Chris.
By the way, we will have a little description of each person on this podcast, so when we do refer to each of the names, because currently, if this is the first episode,
None of you
and you're
probably
a
know who we
random
are.
viewer, you have no fucking clue who any of us are.
Yeah,
Probably
we'll
should
do a
have
little.
started with this.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I'll just we could slice it
edit
up a
this
little
in.
bit. Yeah. I edit this in at the start. We'll do
We're
like a
gonna
little
edit this
intro.
out.
No. We'll do like a little intro screen at the end of, at the beginning of every podcast. It just has the descriptions and the names of the people.
Good. And if we
you-
want to bring on guests, we can have guests.
and then we can do that for the guests too. Yeah, you're right.
Good.
Exactly. See, we're doing
this
work.
Is revolutionary stuff. Where are
This
the other
is-
two?
This is why we're the best members of the VC2 podcast, mate.
This is why, guys, Sartak came to me and was like, Chris.
We need I was like, listen, there's two of us, but we need a third. We need a strong man for this podcast. And who did I bring?
I need a
I brought the
grounded
strongest
individual.
I brought the strongest man in the podcasting game, Fluffywalter.
The man with the hardest, most crushing username
Exactly.
onto the podcast.
Exactly. Speaking of you, Chris, what books do you recommend? Because this is a book podcast now.
Right. So, we've meet the aeroplane quota now.
Exactly. Now we're moving on to a better mode of transport, knowledge.
That was awful. No, that was actually dreadful.
Garbage.
Right. Shut up. Right. I like. Right, I'm gonna sound like a right creep right now. Okay, but we're gonna move past that. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I like psychology books because I like being able to understand people, and I like being able to look at a person and be like, oh, they did some small thing or said some small thing and it means this thing. Yeah. So.
There is no way you just said I want to understand people.
Look, okay, hear me out, yeah? It sounds weird, but it's it is, when you read a couple of these books, yeah, it's actually crazy. Alright,
No,
so I've read 48 Laws of Power, which
that's
is
a classic.
really good. It's about, obviously it's really good, Chris. It doesn't matter.
But
the point is, it's about, these, laws that you use to, I need to stop saying I'm in that mood today, I need to stop it. Right. They tell you about a person, but they also tell you about how you should act towards a person.
You know, there was
And
a
they
similar
tell
book.
you, how to
Sorry,
gain.
sorry, my bad. I didn't even butt in.
No. It's fine, go on.
Okay. There's a similar book. Thank you, Chris. There's a similar book. How to influence people to become your friends, or something like that.
I have
Is that another? Is that another one of Chris's
How
book
to Gain-
recommendations?
Isn't it How to Make Friends and Gain something, isn't it? I don't remember.
Hold on,
I think I
I'll
have
Google it.
How to influence... Isn't it How to Make... I swear it's How to Make Friends. Sorry.
And win friends. How to influence people and win friends.
How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's it. I have that. I haven't actually read it yet.
Maybe
I
you
have
need
it.
that to
I
influence
probably
people.
want to get on that.
to get onto the influencing people. That's very nice. Weren't you talking
Yeah.
about a different book? There was another book you were talking about as well.
I have... There's a couple.
Oh,
there's
The Art of
all
War.
the same.
You-
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Go on about The Art of War.
That's a bit of an odd read. Because it's all sort of about how you can be really, what's the word? Reserved in your actions, but still have a fairly big impact on an opposition. It's all about the perfect time to do stuff and how you don't need to leap into something.
Pardon me.
You're ruining the intensity of my speech.
I'm sorry. Ignore me.
Yeah, that is a very good book as well. 48 Laws of Power, Art of War. There's more by the bloke Robert Greene who does the 48 Laws of Power. There's art of the, I think it's the Art of Human Nature or something, or something like that. There's a couple other ones he does. He does the Art of Seduction. That's a good book. He does that. And
Chris, you might need to get on that book.
I've read that. I've read a bit of that book.
Oh,
read the
perfect.
whole
That's good
thing.
for you in your current situation that we will not elaborate on for privacy's sake. In
I've read a couple other ones. I have one about... what was it? It's by a... What's the name of the bloke? You know when, like, there's a guy that wants to, like... A negotiator.
I haven't heard of
Like
that
a
book. Why don't you
criminal
tell me about that?
negotiator.
Oh, like a criminologist
Like,
or whatever.
there's multiple... It's just a negotiator. Like, if someone wants to, like, kill themselves, I don't think I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, but... Or, sorry, take their life.
On the
the better
live
term.
themselves.
Yep, that's okay. Stop.
I hate saying
Guys,
that.
I don't condone that, and I'd like to formally apologise for the podcast at the moment.
Listen, I'd like to have my words struck from the record.
There is a book about this bloke who
Yes.
teaches you how to negotiate while, like,
Rah.
keeping your own interests at a maximum.
Isn't that
And I
already
rate this book.
Okay.
No, but it's just... I'm not keeping your own interest. It's just how to get your way, basically. And I
Okay.
love it. I don't know what's the name of it. It's like...
Is this book how you always convince like Yuvraj and such to carry your shit whilst you do absolutely nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's just an idiot.
He's just like, okay, I'll hold your stuff for you, Chris.
No, he's just... Yuvraj.
No,
Yeah,
no,
again, we'll give some context on the friendship group at some point. But it would just be like a 2-line sentence, like, this guy's an idiot that we
This
speak
guy's-
to sometimes.
a monk, but we love him anyways. Speaking of which, if you want context, instead of us explaining, I'm just gonna plug my YouTube channel.
Yeah, guys, the whole point of this podcast, is to plug Sartag. It has nothing to do with anyone else on the podcast.
It's
just
only
a
for my
fat
gain.
plug.
It's just a huge,
It's a massive plug. I'm going to find this book. Right, you talk about which books you are a fan of at the moment, and I am going to find this book, and then we can move on.
Of course,
And
of
then
course.
I think we might want to end soon, because the recording is getting a little long.
It's fine. We're probably gonna be short under quota anyway. It doesn't really matter.
Under quote.
We'll be a couple bits of scrap under quota, but it's okay. Let me talk about my books. So basically, I'm similar to Chris in which I just buy books that are around a similar topic. But for me, it's finance, and currently I'm starting my book journey. I
rate
recently,
those.
yeah.
I'm a fan.
Say that again.
I'm a fan. I
Yeah.
like... There's a couple that relate to, like, psychology, in a way.
I'm trying to be
a
finance bro, but like a good one, not the ones like
Not bad ones.
but like
Never split the difference. That's what it was called. Negotiating as your life depends on it. That was the book. I'll plug
Okay.
in that guy just in case.
Get that book on Amazon right now.
Very good.
But
Read
anyways,
it, change your life.
So I've started my reading journey. I decided I need to read more, and the first book on finance I bought was Robert T. Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad. What the poor and middle class don't tell their kids about money, and what the rich do. And man, that's my key into the finance world, dude. I'm trying to take more on from the rich dad who completely just hates everyone around him if they don't make enough money, or if they're like stupid. Ouijan.
Yeah,
Should
again,
be-
you don't know who that man is, but he will be a guest. Actually,
Still-
he will not be a guest, probably, because
He's not great at
the
podcasts.
podcast will implode.
Yeah, the screen will fall.
Controversial things. Yes, the curtains will close over the podcast very quickly.
As
You'll
soon
hear
as he utters
Wajan
one word,
screaming in the background incredibly
As-
controversial things.
starts like screaming slurs at the top of his lungs. But no,
I like that book.
which book? Sorry,
I
Rich Dad
haven't
Poor
read
Dad.
it, but I've seen things about it. I've read the blurb in a store.
Oh yeah,
And
no,
I
you should.
wanted to
You really
get
need
it.
to pick that up. I'm about
What
halfway
would you
through the
say
book.
that you've used anything from it?
Not to an extent I wish I could, because currently I'm not of age to actually invest. I'm currently piggybacking off my dad's investments right now. But as soon as I'm 18 and I'm out the house, that book is going to become so helpful for me.
I think we should delve into investing for a bit.
Oh yeah, we should change
to end off not round off at the moment, but just to continue the podcast, because
Yes.
I've delved in at certain small points in my life, but I've never.
Yeah, you've dipped your toes in the water, but
I've
you've
never
never gone for the
bothered.
swim.
Like, I've never done anything. Exactly, I've never done anything that I feel is meaningful. So I think you should give to our viewers an overview.
Okay. For legal reasons, what we're about to say is not financial advice.
Indeed. If you lose your whole bank account, it's not Sartax.
It's not our fault. It's not my fault. It's not Chris's fault.
Sartax.
Okay, mate.
No, I'm joking.
Sure you are, buddy.
It's Darwin and Tristan's fault, guys.
Guys, they should have
For
been on
not
the
being
podcast.
here to give you the really good advice.
If you lose money, blame it on those two for not being here today. To tell me to not say what I'm about to say. But basically, what you want to do is, and this is from very limited experience, the first thing to like get a basis point.
It's the very starting point. If
You want to, what I was taught.
financial investments into your future.
Yes, for the first thing, you want to look up an ETF, like an index fund, because basically, and I'm stealing this straight from FitMC, but what you want to do here is you could either go, let's reset.
Do it from your perspective.
Okay, so let's say
This is exactly, we're starting from fresh.
something fresh. Nothing
what are you
was
gonna
said.
do right now?
So let's say
You've never invested before.
I've got let's say 10,000 on me. The first thing I'm gonna do is take 10,000 so little, 100,000 on me.
Has this already occurred? I don't think our viewers are in that. The starting viewers are in that level.
Okay, let's say that everyone's our age and they're getting a part-time job. Let's say you earn around. Let's go for what my sister earned. She earned about £200 a week. So £200 for £800.
I've got a calculator if you would like me to.
No, it's fine. That's £800 a month roughly. So you wanna keep saving and like a savings account just for now, until maybe like 3 months in you've got 2,400. You want to take about 20% of that. So can you do 20% of 2,400?
Give me 1 second. Of what, sorry?
20% of 2,400.
480.
Which should be okay.
Oh, shut up. Oh, wait, it shouldn't be that. Just flipping do it. Right, you've taken aside £480.
And you want that.
Is this monthly?
This is after about 3 months.
After 3 months? Wait, what?
After 3 months, you've earned 2,400.
Oh, and you've taken okay, yeah.
And you've only taken about 480. What my father said was try and keep investing in the same stock until you build up, or in like a decent stock, until you build up enough for like a huge portfolio where you have like 10,000 shares or something, no, 1,000 shares or something, and then you can just like that way you can invest in more. And what I've heard from someone else,
Do you have a
FitMC,
decent amount of shares at this point? Is this what we're talking? Well, elaborate.
someone's at the door, but I'm gonna ignore that. And yes, you could either do that, or you could do an index fund where you take a little bit off the top of the top 500 companies in the S&P 500. Why was that the funny part?
Nothing.
Why are you laughing?
So we're either doing an ETF.
Yes.
Or the
Or you're
S&P
building up a
500.
Yeah.
Or what
No,
are we
those are the
doing?
same thing. Those are the same thing.
Those are the same thing.
Right now, as we speak. Okay, let me rephrase that. What I'm saying is that you take an ETF is based around the S&P 500. Usually around, you can use like the Vanguard started doing index funds, I'm pretty sure, first. So you can get like a VU, a Vanguard.
Right, so what's the difference and why are they named differently?
The S&P 500 is like the catalogue. My mum's calling me.
Can't believe the podcast is being interrupted for such meager things. This is going to be a huge revelation on the internet. And Sartak's mother has just come on here and just cut our funds in half.
My mother just told me the maid's here, so set up a fan so it's not blisteringly hot upstairs. But I already did that yesterday when she chose not to come in. So.
Oh, guys, look at Sartak.
you probably
So
have
lovely.
a maid too.
I used to.
Yeah, what was she like?
She was Polish.
Wait, mine's Polish too. No, wait, mine's Ukrainian. Never mind.
That's lovely.
We're talking
I
about
rate
our
that.
previous and current maids as if they're Pokemon cards.
Mine was better.
Mine had a higher attack status.
We need to stop that.
Yeah, I think that's a good segue out of the financial section before I get in too much trouble. If you're really
Basically,
no.
the
Let's stop
S&P
here.
500.
I'll tell you what. No, stop here because if you're our age, you are listening to a bunch of 16-year-olds give you financial advice.
Go watch YouTube.
Go
I mean,
go
Go read a book.
go read Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's all you need.
Is that where you got this from?
No.
Right.
Oh.
Okay, we'll segue out of the financial sector and into how does Sartak get his investing advice?
No.
Yes.
I don't wanna. I don't
Yes.
wanna.
I would like to know. The whole audience would like to know as well.
Okay. So basically, my dad is a big investor. He's a big man in the game. He's making a lot of his investments, and I'm learning from the best. My uncle, very similar. He's making a lot of his investments. There's this one YouTube channel called Woody's Gamer Tag.
Continue. We're not finished yet. You're not weaseling out of this.
Woody's Gamer Tag told me what like compounding was and such like that.
I know what compound interest is because I learnt that in maths.
Not compound interest, compounding.
No, I know. I'd like to point out, by the way, that this is an entirely negative podcast when it comes to maths. We hate maths. Whatever this
really
man
like
says, he is lying to you. Maths is awful. Further maths is even more awful. And if you like maths, I would like you to leave the podcast.
Get out. You're not our target audience. You can fuck off.
Exactly. Because maths is bad.
Exactly.
Apart
So
from investing.
yeah,
That
investment
involves
is
maths,
the only
but, you
good
know,
maths
we don't. That's the only time you're allowed to use maths in life.
on this podcast. On this.
It's the only
Speaking
time you're allowed
of-
to use maths on this podcast. Because this is the most important part of your life now.
Yeah, you've listened to one episode and now it's
Once
your
you listen
daily
to
life.
30 seconds of this podcast, yeah, you're not allowed to go anywhere.
I'll put a little like sound effect which trances people into listening throughout the entire podcast. Just a little bit of a whine.
Yeah, every time something
whine.
really controversial is said, that
we
might
play a little sound and
tip
it
the
convinces you
balance.
immediately.
Exactly, you
play-
might be sort of in the middle of it, and you might be like,
We'll play some of
I
that
don't
funk
really disagree
music.
with that.
We'll
Exactly.
play the funk music and they go
And it'll
dun,
just
dun,
like,
dun,
oh,
dun,
no, I
dun,
agree with
dun.
that. That's not
Exact-
controversial at all. That is completely and utterly my opinion.
Exactly. Speaking of opinions, what's your opinion on Darwin's new YouTube channel?
Right.
Yeah.
I think Darwin is
Yes.
a lovely bloke.
Darwin's a great guy. If only he could be here to hear this praise.
Exactly. I think that he could have potential to have a good YouTube channel.
In about 2 years, though, he'll get into
Some
an N-word
quality.
scandal.
Yeah, and he will never be seen on the internet ever again. Ignoring that,
He'll have a
he's quite the
great
yapper.
career. He's very good at talking. He's not very good at shutting up, though. So
Exactly. He sort of
that's
just
to
talks.
which is why
No
he
one
was one of
knows
the
there.
first people I asked to join this podcast.
But now I'm here.
Exactly.
Because, I don't know actually.
D-
I can shut
why-
my mouth sometimes.
But
So,
we prefer you don't. I could listen to your voice on hours on end, mate.
what, you couldn't listen to Darwin?
Non-platonically.
Non-platonically.
No, but Darwin's been not helping me. I've been helping Darwin. He's been asking me for help. He's like, listen, how do I record? How do I edit? I ended up I was sat on the call with his. Every time he shares his screen on Discord, you cannot see a thing. It's bloated. You can't see any of the text. It's all like chunky.
It's like
It's
his
a bit-
monitor is curved, but like in the...
in
don't know how to
the
explain it.
software.
Exactly.
The software is curved.
Yeah,
It's
it's
absolute
not
jank.
his monitor that's curved, it's just stuff
It's
within the
software.
monitor.
It's the little machinery that just curved itself to make everything look janky.
Everything in his monitor is curved.
Except the actual monitor.
Yeah. The monitor's straight. It's flat.
Flat screen monitor with curved interior. But listen, he's got far. He's got far. Awesome. I love English. It's my favorite language. He's gonna go far. I'll tell you what. Because he's playing Postal 2. It's probably the most offensive game I've ever seen. In the Taliban base in the game.
We're gonna in the lovely.
in the nice
the
care
residence,
home. The care home of individuals from the Middle East.
Yep. That's good.
So there was a poster of just Ganesh, which is a Hindu god, which does not apply, which is great. I love the generalization racism.
Also, he pissed on a dog.
Yeah, he pissed. He pissed on a dog. He lightly urinated in the vicinity of a canine.
Right. I think that for the episode now, I would like to, we should have a little. Potentially, we should have a little like. Okay, here's I'm gonna lay it out for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the intro card. It's like.
Okay.
Darwin. Controversial crackhead. Yeah.
Yeah,
As
exactly.
each of us, it's like. Yeah, and then I think we should either. You know how certain YouTube videos have like a little like thing at the start, which has a little culmination of the whole video, yeah, with like small bits of the best moments, yeah.
Like the intro, yes.
Yeah, I think we could have that.
Like a cold open.
Mm.
Exactly.
And then
like
it's
what
just
I do
like,
on my
we just
YouTube channel.
do that. Shut up. No plugging here, okay? So
No
for
plugging.
instance, when Sartak just said likely urinating in the vicinity of a canine, we just cut that out of the thing. Shove that at the start with a couple other really
Funny
engaging, funny moments. So that
The
when the
most important
viewer,
parts of the podcast.
the viewers are very low because they've seen our calling cards, and then they see that and they're like, "Whoa, these guys are amazing." That was
These
hilarious.
guys know what they're talking about in the
Yeah,
finance, airplane,
these-
book world.
And then we just
You know
do
what?
that.
I think we should actually decide a theme for the podcast now because we've gone through 3 things and we've perfectly encapsulated everything.
I would like
about.
to ask you an opinion
Okay.
What is your
Opinion at the ready.
on the current political state of our country.
I
What's your
voted for
opinions on
Count
Rishi
Binface.
Sunak?
I'm a Binface supporter.
Right, look, I'm gonna put it up to the big 3, okay?
Okay.
I want the big
The
4
big 3.
even, actually.
In the big 4. Sunak,
Who? I don't actually know the name.
Keir
of the
Starmer.
politician.
Politician 3 and Politician 4.
Nigel Farage.
Oh yeah, Farage. I love Reform UK.
2, if you were... Is it 18? Do they make it... No, they can't be 16.
Yeah,
It's
if it was
18.
60, it's 18, yeah.
Yeah, they were good, but they were going to make it 16, but we ignore that.
Oh.
Who would you vote for right now?
Okay. So Sunak, he's a fellow Indian, which is why I don't want to vote for him. Please don't read into that, by the way.
Right, guys, because Sunak is Indian, we're not voting for him. Right, continue.
That's not what I meant, but all
That's
right, I'll go with
that's
it.
going in the intro, the little intro
That's
bit.
that's the intro.
No, I know what we do.
What?
Right, I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off, but you can
No
continue in a
worries.
second. Top Gear.
I
You know
we're
at the
gonna-
start where Clarkson is like, on today's episode, and then he goes, have you seen this?
I haven't watched a lot of Top Gear.
God damn it. And he's like, on today's episode, and then he goes like for how do I think?
Oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna
no,
use
no.
Darwin's name. He's like, I pissed on a dog, and then it's like Hammond, and then it goes and it, like did
Hammond.
something, and then James
Hammond
May
won't
did
vote
something.
for Rishi Sunak because he's
Exactly,
Indian.
because he's Indian. Exactly. That's what we do at the front of the thing.
We should do
I
that.
reckon
Yeah.
that would be good, or at least on one of the episodes, just to test it out.
Let's do that next episode. I feel like that's a good precursor to lead people into the next episode.
Good.
But to continue with my thing, I don't remember what Keir Starmer's doing, but I'm pretty sure he's putting VAT on private schools, and that's bad for both of us.
VAT on private schools?
Yeah, Google that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I know about that.
Yeah, he's doing that, which is not great for us.
That is not great for us.
I should probably cut that out for privacy's sake.
Me and Sultan, I mean, sorry. No, I can't say. Actually, no, fuck it. Who cares? Private schools are what we go to.
All of them. We go to every private school.
We go to every private school because we're
at
just
the same time.
private. I'm so private.
Well, privacy is great.
Like
We're so private. You want to see my
They're
private?
Just putting severe. Is it tax?
What is?
You said VAT. I swear they're just severely.
Value-added tax, yes.
Yeah. They're just severely taxing. Funds,
Oh yeah.
Which
is
means we're gonna have
bad.
to pay an extra like.
£400 or some shit.
Well, in total, it's like. How many terms is there?
3.
Per term.
Yeah, I think it's per term.
It's like an extra grand and a bit, basically.
Per term.
Which is shocking. No. Well, I don't know how much.
Okay.
I swear it was like a couple grand extra.
It's like
on top of
20%
everything of every year.
That's
Yeah, which
gonna be
is still a
awful.
grand or a bit.
Awful.
Yeah,
awful.
exactly. I just
So,
realised,
not
by the way, I don't know which mic is in my input right now.
But
I know I might have had an absolute shocker.
You might
Because
not even have
this
to.
episode was actually really good. And if I've got the wrong mic on, I'm going to sound like I'm under my
Crazy.
table. Like, speaking into a coconut.
Well, what other microphones do you even have hooked up to this computer? Because I'm pretty sure you're...
Logitech.
Uh-oh. That's bad.
How bad?
It kind of sounds like, this bad.
Am I coked? Because I didn't... This is your fault.
Is it the
If
mic?
this
if you use
audio
the
is
Logitech-
alright, and we don't have to record the next hour again...
No, I feel like even if it's rubbish quality, your entire charisma and your practice jokes will carry us through.
It's
Regardless.
Sartak's fault for not telling me to check my input on the new software he gave me. All his fault. Full fault on him.
Okay. There's no way you
And
recorded with the
I'd actually
Logitech.
like to retract that statement because it's all Darwin and Tristan's fault for not being
It's
here
Darwin
to
and
inform
Tristan.
me.
They could have told him, but they didn't because they weren't here.
Exactly. No, but anyway, who would you vote for?
I have to look at the other 2 candidates.
Nigel Farage, Keir Starmer, Rishi
Yes.
Sunak.
Yes.
It's some bloke that's not really in the middle anymore.
They, I think
Not
I might
in
have to vote
gender, I mean he's not in the middle as in he is not the Lib Dems meant to be sort of okay for the foreigners. I mean that was a bit no for people not of this country. The Lib Dems are meant to be bang in the middle of the political, like, you get me.
Yeah.
They're
Makes
not.
no sense because they're the liberals, but alright.
They lean now.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know who
I
it
don't
is.
know.
I don't care.
I don't know.
Out of the big
Green
3,
Party. You know what? Green Party.
Bosh. There we go, guys.
Bosh.
Vote for the Green
That's
Party.
the end of the podcast. Everyone vote for the Green Party right now. July
Love you
4th.
all. Yeah, we're hosting a rally that Darwin and Tristan won't show up to
Because they're not good.
because they're not good. They're not
podcast
good
members.
individuals.
They're not getting paid as much as we do once we get paid.
Exactly.
All right,
Fuck
Chris,
them.
sign us off. Thanks
Um,
everybody for listening.
Thank
we'll
you
catch
guys.
you in the next one.
I love you all. There will be a next one where hopefully the full force of the
VC2
VC2
crew
podcast will be here, and the charisma will not actually be doubled. It will stay the same because me and Sartak are the only good ones on this podcast.
We're the ones with the heart. If you join next episode, your ears will probably be like blown out because Darwin has a garbage microphone on purpose.
Actually, they'll be blown out this episode because I have forgotten to switch to my HyperX podcast.
Oh,
Because
it's
I'm
fine.
using a
I can,
Logitech.
listen, I'm good with audio and that. I'll fix it for you guys.
Alright. Love you all.
Alright.
Thank you for tuning
Love you all.
in and
Alright.
have a lovely day.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.